All right, we actually got less than 6 minutes, but fuck it. I never get that timer really synced up.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I was telling the neighbor too. I was like, the timer is kind of irrelevant. I was like, you're watching a video anyway right now, so you could just skip through that part of it and go right to like the show. I was like, since you're watching the pre-record.
Yeah.
I was like, because the timer, we always put the timer up, and it's somewhat relative, like to start time at start time, but it's only relative at that moment. Like when the live show's going, because outside of that, it's just you're waiting for you because you wanted to wait. Like, you know, streamers that do that, right? Like, have you ever tuned into a like high-end streamer that at the very beginning of their shift, like when it says they're going live, and then tune into that, like click on when they say they're going live, like that moment, it is a waiting arena where you just kind of hanging out and looking at wallpaper sometimes, or whatever other screen art there may be. Real creative streamers will do rotating desktop type shit.
Okay.
So you see a bunch of different stuff. Some people have like a timer of sorts to when they start their stream and when they actually come live to the stream. I think Doc's one of those guys that he's got like their, when his says he's going live, it starts this intro. And he fills into his part at the end of the intro kind of thing. There's a bunch of different guys that do that. And some people just have you sitting there. It's like, all right, stream will be starting soon. And that's what you get is the starting soon screen, which is, you know, kind of what we give them to. It'll be starting. But our timer's a little bit less relevant because guess what, motherfuckers, you can't hear us. It's all that pre-show shit for those of you who tune in early.
Yeah.
As we get settled into whatever level of craziness that we're going to be getting into tonight. I guess I should go to the radio.co site. I keep sitting here like, what am I trying to click on? Oh yeah, JMO, huh?
Yep. Getting warmed up.
2 minutes, man. 2 minutes and 5 seconds. That's a lot of pre-show time.
I don't give a shit. I'm gonna sit here and smoke a fucking cigarette, man. Listen to these musics. They can do the same if they're watching.
They're like, no, we can't, because you two motherfuckers keep talking over the music. I'm not in any of the chats, so that could possibly be. Okay, yeah, there we go. I'm over there now. I'm the only one over there, I think. Motherfuckers, get in here. Quit being assholes. You saw the fucking live button. You see the timer on the screen. You know what it means.
We should see if it automatically cross-posted. If it didn't, we can edit shit. Or take the 8-bit shit back out. Am I?
Are you what?
What? Dude, in the live video preview, I think we're getting subtitles from Facebook automatically.
I'm not seeing.
Oh, it's because I'm in the creator studio.
Nice.
Yeah.
So subtitles are an option that we could turn on then.
Yeah, there's motherfucking subtitles in this shit. They ain't bad.
Oh, captions.
Damn. You don't even have to listen to us anymore. Turn on the fucking subtitles. Pretend we're an anime.
Yeah, I'm reading everything you just said.
Yeah, dude.
All right, so now this is what I'm going to do during the show. I'm just going to read what you're saying.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's what I'm doing. That's crazy.
Pretend we're an animal. Oh, yeah. See, that's the problem. It's the moments where it's wrong.
All right, I'm kicking us over to the main because it's that time.
Yep, that it is. You ready? And...
Go ahead.
Would love to.
Do it. Say the things.
All streams are disconnected offline.
Oh, are we dead to radio land?
According to that, yes.
Okay. Well, I'll just turn the music back up.
Nothing should have changed.
Music's nice. This is that pre-show shit, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Entertain the people for a moment.
Yeah.
I'm about to show you that I'm not
It's good
like the
music.
rest. I'm gonna believe in me. I gotta do my best.
Y'all want to see my bass in No Man's Sky while Thump does this stuff? Sure you do. Sure you do. All right. So that's top down. That's another top down. If you're in our Discord, you already seen that already. Oh, by the way, this is the Angry Dandelion Show. It's fucking Monday. I've been drinking. Thanks for tuning in. And then I actually do have some video of it. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah. So I'd start off by showing y'all some of our planet. That one wasn't ours. That one's ours. It's a paradise planet. It's real nice. Not really. There's freaking heat storms all the freaking time, man. And oh, by the way, this is No Man's Sky. If you aren't aware, but Thump and I dove back into it. Thump started a fresh character. I brought my old character to his fresh start and deleted all my old bases and basically made him a fresh start. And then we kind of exploited the party feature, I guess, because I used a code to travel from a monolith to as far central as you can go in the galaxy to the galactic core. Thump traveled to where I was. Then I quit, joined Thump's game, and I could put down a base. Thump could already put down a base. So
through a clever misdirection of the anomaly usage in the game.
Yeah, it wasn't intended or anything like that. It wasn't malicious.
Well,
And
no.
it hasn't affected our game any. Even it's just we're in the center of the universe instead of, or in center of the galaxy instead of the outskirts of the galaxy.
Right.
One day I'm going to go back.
The character that you brought in has that ability to get there.
Yeah.
You know, you came in with a character that was capable of being able to make that progress. I used a lot of that space. I'm just been jumping around the galaxy. Like my fresh character playthrough stayed like just because I got to that point in the galaxy didn't change any of the stuff I needed to do to flesh out my character.
Yeah. Dude, this has been fun. This has been fun. Go back.
Yeah, it's definitely all the same time frame of shit. And hey, welcome to Monday's Angry Dandelion Show, blah blah blah, and all that yakety schmackety.
We got no radio today.
Sorry for not getting in there on that. Says incorrect username. We're slotted in. DJ, the Angry Dandelion, just says we're not connected, and the backup playlist is an Angry Dandelion, but currently on it looks to be Bumming with Bobcat.
Okay.
The 2018 season preview. So
right on.
Anybody who's interested in going back and seeing what we thought, or not us particularly, but folks over on Ironic Radio thought coming into the 2018 NFL season, there's a hot take over there on Ironic right now for you.
You fucking hoping to run into fucking Marty McFly or some shit, man? What? Fuck me. Need more PBR coffee.
I mean, hey.
This area now, I'm going to have to start turning down the graphic settings on my computer when we load. Video is playing, but I didn't freeze like that, but it was a stutter. And maybe the video did freeze. There we go. Yeah, the video did freeze. Playback stopped for some fucking reason. Anyways, you'll see little stutters in there. But yeah, I already flew past your base once. I think I made a trip back there.
I put a second level on it and haven't painted the new level. And the new top section hasn't been painted yet.
Yeah, man, yours was still really small. I do go through yours, but it's an old version. You need to upload yours to the servers again. But you'll see I've done some decorating on the interior, and
I teleported into the base and all that shit. I took a load of copper earlier.
Oh, I don't give a shit, man.
No, just letting you know.
Oh,
that way you know it's reset and rerunning.
Good.
Because it was at 8,000. I guess that's max.
Yeah, 8,000 is a max. I could add more storage containers. Those plants on the stream, you won't see them yet, Thump, but you'll see them. They're little planters that sit on the wall. Right. They give you free carbon every time, like
the
often.
Wall plants.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wall. Yeah.
So I have those all over the fucking place. But my garden is up and running. I got my specialist.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're doing all the hanging garden stuff. Like I haven't even gotten into that tier of the crafted tree yet. I was amazed. I went through that full create.
Had all the mats on me. I went through and created them all, and was like, "Okay, here you go." And it's like, "Oh, game over."
I didn't have enough, not enough knowledge. I hadn't jumped through enough. I'm gonna add a layer up top. It's gonna be a third story to that gardening tower.
Yeah. But yeah, see, I got all my dudes in there now. Added some lockers just for looks and more.
Yeah, I didn't
know
you could do album and pearls. That was one that I forgot.
See, I had the 3 domes. I needed something to decorate here. I wanted to make it useful, so I added fucking more planters in. Added a little computer to the wall for decoration. More of the fucking wall planters.
Yeah, I like the hanging planters. Those look real nice, and it's funny how accurate that idea of planting is.
Yeah, I like. I just wanted something to pop up while we were kind of talking about it, and I was like, well, why not show off the base? Oh, if you add those storage containers, as long as you have Atlas Pass V1, they give you shit. I've got an antimatter housing out of them, so I add those.
Oh yeah, it's just like the ones that are on your freighter.
Yep.
And that's the short range teleport that you had used.
Yeah, when you get kind of caught up with the stream inside the garage, how I have the double wall system. When I step outside, man, the storm takes over. It's there. The garage is just too open for the weather. You step back in and the weather goes away, but I had to build it like that. So I used a ton of freaking my available pieces just to have this big ass garage, man.
Yeah, you did.
But hey, it's cool.
Okay, you kept all the pads down.
Mm-hmm.
See, I got rid of all the pads.
Nah, I kept all the pads down because I wanted to build the garage over them. Because I had set them up and I was like,
yeah, see, I have the one pad and I destroyed all the other ones because once you spawn them into the planet once, they're always there.
Yeah, and I didn't really. I actually painted them up and made it part of the aesthetic because that's just kind of what I do. See, and I got my satellite to call them in anyways up on the top of the fucking building.
Oh, I like that.
Got so much power, dude. We have so much untapped power.
Yeah, I just filled my battery room up with batteries today and put another draw tower back there. So I'm up to 2 towers on the other side and 8 batteries of storage. Yeah, I know. 9 towers and battery houses that stretch across the continent.
And what the fucking fuck? The video froze again. Here we go. I'll start it from where we left off. There we go. But so I play in and out of VR. I build mainly out of VR, and when I like to run around, I like to run around in VR, dude. Being in these fucking mechs, the Minotaur while you're in VR it's pretty fucking cool.
I bet.
But here we're seeing my dock that I put up for my submarine. I wanted to dock for it because it needed it. I think the video froze again.
Mine's just down underneath the water down there. I put it down somewhere close to the bottom. I just use satellite for everything, and I'm just like, my shit gets left all over the planet unless I've got something on it that I need to bring home. And then anytime I'm able to bring in my freighter, now it's just on any fucking planet. Sometimes I don't even know where my car is at. It's like, oh yeah.
But yeah, there's over across the way outside of the dock is where all of our copper comes from, and then it goes up to the silos up on the hill that are in their own like barn shed. But I'm going for a little ride in the submarine here. And I actually take that over to what I can see of your base right now because yours needs to be uploaded to the servers. If we were in a joint game when I shot this, I would have seen your upgraded base, but
yeah, like I said, it's not a full double all the way around. It's just on the backside where I decided to start putting all my planners in place, and so it's a double stack of square over there.
I want the living ship, man. I just wish
I'm 100 freaking Quicksilver away from it.
I just tired of running the very same missions over and over and over and over and over again,
True. Like I said, I don't know how I ended up ahead of you. Because mine's a fresh character. It hasn't done anything.
Yeah. Here we go. Here I'm heading up towards your base. So yeah, our bases for people out there are literally across the pond. Essentially, it's a valley, and he's on one side, I'm on the other side.
Yeah, I found a nice little hill across the way. I saw where you were perched at, and I was like, I looked around from where you were, because that's where I spawned into the world, where I came into the world. I landed on your base, and I was like, all right, so this is where he's at. And I started looking around, and I'm like, oh, look at that. There's a little flat. I can use the flattening tool and flatten it out a little bit more.
Dude, I'm upset about losing that one paradise planet today. That was virtually no storm. Every once in a while, just a little bit of toxicity, and it lasted like 2 seconds. But other than that, it was
you don't
perfect
see
planet.
any of my vehicles out there at all.
Yeah, no.
And now, also you see how the wiring is there?
Mm-hmm.
I put a wire hider in today.
Yeah.
So no more wires all over the place. And also that that piece of ferrite there I have to keep getting rid of. But when you take the left back into the back there where that refinery is, now there's a ladder.
Okay.
And that room's full of plants, and I haven't started on the next floor yet. But the floor's there. Like the space is there, I just haven't started doing it yet.
Next place we settle, I started to figure out how to use some of the frames and some of the small blocks and stuff like that. So the next place, I probably won't even use these big rooms. I will probably have completely custom rooms built out of the smaller cuboid boxes and stuff like that,
mm-hmm.
and get weird with it. But really, as much as I had built other stuff in this game, a lot of this stuff wasn't there when we originally dove into this game and built it. You had the walls.
No, there's a lot of new stuff that's been added in. I like the aquatic base stuff that's been added in for you to be able to go and do underwater bases too.
How is that? Because see, I haven't unlocked that.
Oh, really?
Or
it's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like to go down and step into a place that the moment you swim through the door, everything inside is dry and it's like walking on regular land and like everything's normal. It's a trip because you knew you just hopped out of a submarine or swam down into the water, and then all of a sudden you're like, you go through the door.
Dude, when it's nice on our planet. Oh, it's so nice. Sorry.
Your character puts his feet down and is like, boom. But it's fun. And the environments are kind of the same. A lot more already installed glass.
Yeah.
So take a lot of the rooms that you've built with the glass that you've put in them and make them slightly different pre-set underwater glass kind of setups. With rooftops that are glass and stuff like that too. Like you see how your circle building has the metal flat.
Yeah.
I think some of those are window paned up as well.
Nice.
So, but yeah, it's got it's amazing how much the game has really grown, and it's kind of funny now to see a very inhabited No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Because you run across other people's shit. You'll be in a game and all of a sudden it's boop, and all of a sudden there's somebody there, like not somebody, but like you'll see their base. They may not be logged on, but you'll see where like this is their base and you can check it out. And I've been galaxy hopping, so it's just been like, oh, go check this out. Oh, go check this out.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of that.
I went into one place, had 3 fucking bases all stacked on top of each other.
Damn. See, I jump, I land, I throw up a booster signal, I go to that building, I look for salvage shit, I look for other buildings, and then I move on to the next planet, usually. But, trying to do that, what is it called, stellar ice crap to try and get some extra Quicksilver today, dude. I was through so many fucking planets.
Yeah, but I thought you were just supposed to hang out in the systems.
Yeah, I got bored and I stopped doing that and I started just landing on planets and exploring again. And then I'd go to a different emerald system and I'd travel between all the planets. And then I'd go back and land at one. And I'd go to the next one and land at it. But a lot of the ones I were jumping to were pretty fucking barren. There wasn't a lot on them. But a lot of times, because I have such a giant warp range.
a lot of the Emerald ship was like metal encased planets. A lot of fucking like the real weird shit is in the green systems.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, since I can jump pretty much fucking anywhere, and now that I can take carbon, which I can get for free from the base, and put it in the antimatter refinery. I've got unlimited supply of warp fuel pretty much. So, and I can warp 1,939 light years at a time from a start of like 163. That those exotic ships have a longer warp jump, so I think when they're maxed out, I should be able to. I just want to see, because I need one more S-Class upgrade to my Owl of Perfection.
Dude, that was the greatest part of progression so far, was to get my S-Class multi-tool.
Yeah. I think I have an S-Class multi-tool, but I'm actually still using my A-Class one. Because my A-Class one had all my shit on it, and I don't feel like rebuilding it all just yet.
Oh, see, when I got this one, I was like, and let's shift all this stuff over and make these other components. This is what I like to use. This is the type of setup I like to run, and it gives you that full customizable area for you to add those booster mods.
Yeah, see, I have a bunch of those on mine, and some of them I don't think you can get anymore. I think they were phased out through some updates or some shit.
Possible.
So some of your OG stuff keeps you OP. But I do have an S-Class one that I did pick up, and any like S-Class mods or upgrades that I pick up, I hold on to, I throw in the vault. So one day I'll go back to that, and I'll just be like, plop, 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 and it's built. Let's go. But I want to finish maxing out. I've been focused on this starship first. I want to finish maxing out its jump range and just have it. It's a badass little ship at this point. It's got tons. I have hardly any storage left on it, but I did recently revamp how everything was laid out and bought myself a few pieces of storage in it. Because
your S-Class ship was one of those compact S-Classes.
Yeah. But it has that jump range.
I got one of my big old fat. Yep, I got one to now that's got some decent jump range on it. But it's got that. It's a fat belly ship, big old fucking school bus looking.
Yeah.
My new ship. That's what I went with on this B class that I grabbed. But yeah, it's nice. I'm liking it right now, and it's got all of its jump stuff to it, like completing all that finally.
Yeah, you can put so you can do on your warp drive. You can do 3 S-Class upgrades in your standard starship inventory. Then you can do 3 warp drive S-Class upgrades in your technology, and they don't counteract each other at all. So you can get 6 total warp drive boosts. I have 5 of the 6 S-Class. 1 is a C-Class right now on my ship. But I haven't come across it yet, and I need them nanites, and I've been buying other upgrades with the nanites too.
Yeah, those nanites, man. I was up, and then I was down, and then it's work your way back up, and you go back down.
Yep. That's a game. It's just an adventure all the time. I guess it's what you want to do. It is.
Oh yeah.
It is a galaxy-sized sandbox, and I will say, if it wasn't for VR, I probably wouldn't play it as much at this point. But adding the mech in and the VR controls.
Oh yeah, with the addition of the mech, and not for anything, I want to build that pilgrim thing too, because I want to see what that little thing skates around like.
I got one in the garage, man. It's all right. They all need upgrades.
Well, no.
There's so much shit that needs upgraded. So much shit. But when you take years off and come back, that's where you're at. And when you start fresh, that's where you're at.
Oh yeah, and the good part about it though is that No Man's provided that kind of ability to go back and get into it, and not really even. I didn't worry about starting over.
Yeah.
I didn't think twice about it. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna go freshy on this shit. Watch me work. And that's what I did. I went in and I started a new character and built up from a new point in the galaxy. And
I did start over as well. That was
I like where I'm at now better than where my last character was.
Yeah. When I started fresh,
I like that freighter I had.
Started fresh the second time or the first time I started fresh after this character that I'm using right now. Because I was lost with this character. I didn't know what else to do. I put like 20 hours into that one. And then when you started again, I started another fresh character and was like, you know what? I've got a grasp on what I need to do now to finish that other character off. I'm going to jump into that character, delete all my old bases, delete the other saves besides this save, and start fresh, but with all my old shit that I had built up. And it's been fun. I mean, I started out with 180 million.
Yeah, that's always a good place to be.
Yeah,
Like, I will say that was one of the disadvantages to where I was at. But, once you get to a point and kind of figure out what your money rackets are,
Cobalt Run.
You can definitely go in fast cash.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. And so, I mean, that's always a good option. Also, having the ability to just drop all that off into its own box.
Yeah.
Is paramount to that situation. Because sometimes you just want the inventory space and you don't want to carry around all that extra fucking bulk.
Yeah.
Then there's other times where that's all you want on you is the bulk.
Yeah, well,
I bet that turn-in's fucking incredible.
Yeah, if you were maxed out on all your slots and your starship and a freighter starship that's maxed out on all its slots with the cobalt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of cobalt to farm up.
Not really, that's if you follow your philosophy that you started me off with, which was go in, sell all that you have on you currently, and then buy everything that they have.
Yeah, I mean, you get 2,000 to 4,000.
At that point, though, that philosophy in itself. Remember, I never came back over and farmed, got some from you or farmed any up. I never grabbed that stack or anything. I just went ahead and started with that. And now when I turn in, it's, easy 7 million a pop every time.
Yeah,
and I know if I jump a couple more systems, that's going to go up more.
We need to find a cobalt underground mineral deposit. And farm that up. Yeah, and just farm that up, and look. Then it is just literally call in your freighter ship or your cargo ship, unload everything, load up, head out, dump it all off, and you're paid.
Oh man,
it's a one-stop shop.
You dump it all off and just leave.
Well, no, you buy it all back, and then you just you go put it in a vault. Eventually, you will dump it all off and just leave.
Yeah. One time you'll just dump it. That place will never, ever need cobalt, ever. They will become the new trader of cobalt.
Yeah, no, man. I was rolling around with motherfucking 60,000 cobalt.
Yeah, I think I've got 5 stacks of cobalt now that I'm dropping.
Yeah, I kept 6 back.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's money.
And you hit the right system with a plus on it.
Mm-hmm.
When you sail, it's weird though. I've run into a lot of systems that are right there at negative 0.3.
We need to get into cooking Now that I'm thinking about it, to grab
Oh yeah,
the
see,
nanites.
that's the next thing I'm actually gonna unlock when I do some salvage grabs. Oh, that's something else you need to look at. Salvage planets, ones that have salvage containers.
Yeah.
Have you done those yet?
Yep. I started doing those a little bit this afternoon.
Yeah, those salvage containers got some pretty. It's odd stuff. It's all like relics. It's not stuff that you normally have seen in your inventory anywhere. So that's a new piece that they've added to it, and there are only certain planets that they're on.
Yeah, it says salvageable scrap.
Yeah, and they're really neat. Like some of the stuff that you pull up out of there is actually like some pretty funny shit. When you're like, oh look, this is thousands of years old.
Yeah, I got a frigate storage upgrade out of one. So my frigate is getting a free upgrade out of that because that's something that I want to work on too, is upgrading that. That's a whole base I need to build on its own. And then you never really have to build a base again. You warp to a star system, you pull your freaking freighter in.
Oh yeah, the freighter with all its mass of, but that takes buying the right freighter, and those get really fucking expensive. Like that is deluxe travel.
Yeah, mine's either an A or an S class.
See, I'm a long ways away from that. I'm a long ways away from an S class freighter as far as this character is.
Yeah, I had that from the previous, but and I've got some S class.
Let's talk about the previous semiconductor.
Yeah, dude.
The semiconductor character.
Yeah,
that's the one I didn't want to bring forward. I was like, I'm not gonna do that because I don't know enough about all the new shit that's in the game, and I wanted to experience the new shit, and I didn't know if they put new shit in at the beginning of shit. That's why I wanted to start over again.
And my thing was I had played through a lot of that story stuff and done all that and was pretty much at the end anyways when Vex popped in and was like, hey, here's these things that are free money. I was like, okay. And he's like, here's your Atlas Pass V2 and here's an Atlas Pass V3 for you. I was like, sweet, I'll take those.
Yep. That's something. I don't even have an Atlas Pass 1 right now.
I don't want to go back to not having them at this point.
I know how valuable they are as like an item because I've got boxes I can't open every time I go somewhere. So I get it. It's like I haven't got to that part of fucking with shit. I don't even remember how I acquire those again.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I swear it was fucking around with people on the stations.
Yeah, I can't remember, dude.
You know that one room that you go to on that side where your backpack upgrade and all your upgrade stations are on that side? You go into that room and there's a trade beacon in there and all the people that you can hire. There's one motherfucker that you can't hire out of that room. And I think he's the one that sends you out like on a mission and ends up graduating you to that pass.
Okay.
I think, but I can't remember. I'll have to look it up, or we'll look it up later at some point and actually get that sorted out. Because I've got the recipes to craft all three of them in my database of recipes because I've played the game before.
Yeah.
But I don't have them on this character. Like this character doesn't have the ability to craft that stuff. Like I can look at it in the menu of craftable items. That's all I get to do. Like I kind of wish you'd just erase it if my character can't fucking do it. I'd like to know what I can and can't do. That's why when I was trying to make those upgrades, like I'd run into a dark marble and be like, all right, what the fuck is that? And so I'd have to jump forward another atlas in order to find out
recipe.
To get the recipe for what the next marble was that I had to make.
And see, that I had actually gotten confused on that, and that's kind of when I quit playing Atlas with that character.
Yeah, those marbles, that's fuck shit, man. That had me messed up for a minute.
And like when I came back to it this time, I was looking at it, I was like, I understand it now.
Yeah, boom, 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 boom. In craftable order, they just ding, 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 ding,
Yep.
right down the road.
And then I plugged it in, and they're like, "Here's the seed of a new star," and it goes into your technology slot, and I have no clue what the fuck it does.
Oh, really? It's the resonant stone. It is your like everything that you've done in game is accessible through that. So it's like the ultimate save point or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know
It's
what
in
it
my
does.
technology
I
slot.
don't know what it does in the grand scheme of everything. I haven't like read into it yet, but I've got it now.
Oh, there's a yeah. There's two of them.
The hex core.
Yeah, I have two things in my technology slot, and I can't remember what they're both called, but one of them I got, and it's like a star seed. And that's
Right.
the one I got after, you put the whatever of the sun in the
the heart of the sun into the
yeah.
thing.
And
With
then
the
I have another one that I had from before that I don't know what the fuck it is either. But I've got them, and I don't know what the fuck they do, but they're linked up. They get that pairing bonus, whatever they
that's
do.
cool. We'll have to take a look at the inventory, see what they are, and see if we can
Yeah.
track those up. Because I may not have that other one yet. But I know the hex core is one thing that I still need to work on getting. And like we said, the living ship, man, that fucking void pearl or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Void egg. The void egg. 100. Pissed me off, man. I did that one mission earlier, and I was 100 away, and I was ready to go in. I understand how those work now. If we don't go into the Nexus for 3 days, we'll have three waiting on us.
Okay.
Yeah, their dailies is how they
And they
equate,
stack.
but they only stack to 3, and any after that days that you don't play, you're just missing those days. They're considered lost.
Okay.
So your Quicksilvers are a daily, but if you don't get to play every day, they give you a leniency of the 3 day.
Well, I still want to know why the 1200 Quicksilver weekend event didn't show up. You best believe tearing into that this upcoming Saturday.
Oh,
when I get off work.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, I had that other shit that I wanted to buy. I wanted to buy my fucking purple fucking jetpack flames. I want my purple jetpack flames, and I was going to buy that, and then you said something about the ship, and I was like, oh, yeah, want that more.
Yep.
And so I was ready to buy. I was literally about to click and buy my jetpack color. And you were like, yeah, the void egg is in there. And I was like, wait, what? Scroll. Oh, look. Damn it. I ain't got enough for that either. Damn it.
Yeah, I want the red jetpack flames too.
Yeah. Fit your image. Thus why mine are purple. Fits the thing going on. Yeah, it's been fun to dive back into again, considering what quarantine gaming is. I mean, essentially this is what this is. This is quarantine gaming. You look at this, and you look at COD, and the mass population of people are COD. And now what is it? Valorant.
Yeah, Valorant.
So you've got whatever that is, and the streaming services are loving it. Absolutely loving it. A major uptick in business for everybody outside of brick and mortar. Like if you were just an online business, you are loving life right now. You're getting more exposure than you've ever gotten in your business's history. And that doesn't even matter if you're Google. like even Google seeing more people than they've ever seen before in their life. Imagine that.
So, looking at your base here on the replay of this video, the same round foundations that you put on the round ones will adapt and fit on the square ones, so you can put a foundation up underneath your square one if you want the aesthetics to where it doesn't look like it's just hanging on by a thread.
I definitely do. Thank you. Because all I saw was the round, and I'm like, I don't know where he got that square foundation before, but I'm sure it'll show up when I start doing this other construction shit.
Yeah, the round one just adapts to the square large buildings.
Okay, that's cool. Then yeah, definitely. I'll be when I get back on later. I'm gonna put that on.
Yeah,
man. You know, gotta fix it.
that's where my head's at too. Is like I'm thinking of all the things that I want to do, and you know I'm finally able to go back to work tomorrow. So you know, life is my all day gaming marathon is about to come to an end.
What does that look like for y'all right now though? You're going back to work, but what are you?
I'm going to be working the same amount of hours.
Well, I'm saying, your restaurant is essentially lifting its quarantine on itself?
No. It's a family member of mine was directly exposed to someone with COVID, so didn't want to
leave of absence.
Yeah, didn't want to. Talked with the owners, and kind of everybody felt it was best that I take my 14 days and be responsible. That's what I say.
You take a brief leave and.
Yeah, so, but they've been doing carry out pretty much this whole time. They took a week, shut down, reevaluated, reopened, doing carry out. Actually won best new restaurant in the area award from the local paper.
Oh, blah, blah, that blah. means you did a good job.
But yeah, so
you should be somewhat proud of that as well.
Yep. So going back to that on the morrow, I'll miss gaming a little bit, but I am ready to, I don't know, do something else, I guess, a little bit, or have
during
something.
The day
I guess the best way my dad put it is like, yeah, everybody needs something to bitch about.
Something to go out and bitch about.
Yeah. But because he's retired now, and he's like, there's some days I wish I still went to work every day, because just kind of need something, I guess.
Yeah.
But well, money. Money.
Yeah, that's a big one. People like having control over the amount of access that they have to money. In retirement, that control is a little varied.
Yeah.
You have none. You're told what you're gonna get, and that's the end of the discussion. They're like, "Oh, you want to claim that Social Security? All right, this is what you're eligible for."
Man,
well, that's not enough to get by on. Keep talking. Would you like less?
Well, he's got it. He and my stepmom have 401k, and so they do okay.
Yeah, but
still, you get older, your health insurance goes through the fucking roof, like quadrupled over 1 year.
Well, and what you see is that how much the company helping on the insurance that you were working for so long, like how much the company really helped, because you get a certain amount of time, and then Cobra kicks in, and then this other shit goes on, and you get tossed around the medical system there for a little bit before you're eligible for your Medicaid or Medicare,
Medicaid. There's all different kinds.
Well, the senior care, I think, is Medicare.
Well, there's Medicare, then there's Medicaid, like A, Medicaid B, or some shit. I don't fucking know.
But I think the Medicaids apply to are an income based. Any person qualifying type thing.
Okay.
And then Medicare, I think, is just elderly, and there's Medicare type A, type B. Like, it's got stages too, but it's just an elderly. One is one and one is the other, if I'm not mistaken. One is everybody and one is
what it ends up with is you losing all your shit and in a nursing home eventually because they take all your shit.
Well, yeah, and then you're left to depend on the Medicare, which is government applied social welfare to some extent.
Yep.
That is also very poorly funded. So get out and vote, people.
Yeah, do that. Do that.
Not going to influence any opinions on anything. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, just do it.
Just do it. Like,
take your opinion and go vote with it.
Yeah, do it. You'll be amazed at like how the world looks different.
I need to grab a beer right quick. Let's see, where do we want to go?
Yeah, I lean over. And,
yeah, I just gotta stand up. That's all I got to do. But where do we want to go here? We got about 13 minutes before the break.
We got actually a lot of stuff that we could go into. I mean, I kind of teetered on a little bit of the Valorant stuff, and
you know more about that than I. So let's start there, and I'll get the articles pulled up here.
All right.
Give them something to look at. And play. And let me remove this. I said remove. There we go. Save up 25%. There we go. All right, let me grab a beer.
My goodness, that was a lot of noise. Valorant. Valorant. This took the streaming world by storm. It's overly animated CS:GO. With a hint of overwatchability. But
okay.
not to the level of like placing shields that are bullet shields for the entire group to stack in, or like character grabs, or the ability to put yourself in a ball and roll through an area and pop up somewhere, and like not silly animated goofy. Their abilities are somewhat elemental and essentially act like gas grenades, smoke grenades, frost grenades, stuff like that. Like, they're not two snakes coming through all the walls.
Okay.
Doing all that. Like, it's not overblown. It's CS:GO combat. But instead of them throwing smoke grenades, they have these abilities that do different things. There's a camera that one guy can take, and he can sling it and throw it up onto the wall, and it can look around the corner to give your team a better view of seeing, all right, so they're stacking up in this room over here.
Yeah, dude, this looks just like, until you start seeing like the little magic shit, it looks just like CS:GO.
Yeah, it is. And that's what I was telling you off the rip when we first started talking about it, just between the two of us. And you were like, oh, so it's kind of Overwatch. I'm like, not really. Like, it
looks
really
like
more
Overwatch, but plays like CS:GO.
Yeah, it's more CS:GO. Like, the combat styling is CS:GO. When you shoot, it's CS:GO shooting. There's no bullshitting head taps. If you're gonna win this game, it's head taps. Like this, it's not all the wild other shit. Like it's a very tame Overwatch if it's Overwatch, but it's a kind of buck wild CS:GO.
So, is this the end of Fortnite then?
With the combination of COD and Valorant being able to have the success that they've had, let's dive into that option there. Let's go check both of the major broadcast centers and see where Fortnite stands in it. Go to the browse tab here on Twitch. Fortnite all the way down at like 30 or 35, somewhere down the list on that. So
damn,
that's like a Twitch setup. Let's see, let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Holy shit. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38th on the list.
Damn. And what is numero uno?
Numero uno right now is Minecraft.
Okay.
But that's because it's getting split viewership is kind of what's going on there on this list. And it may be being falsely inflated a little bit. Yeah, hold on. Let's filter this a little bit different. Not my recommended. Let's go high to lows. Okay, no, Fortnite's still number 3 on the list.
Okay.
I was like, man, that's a hell of a drop.
Yeah.
But I could see it being like 40th on my list of viewing interest.
Yeah, I could see that.
That made sense.
Definitely see that.
Yeah, that's about where it fits.
So what?
But it's Valorant, Just Chatting, Fortnite, League, Grand Theft, Warzone, Final Fantasy, and CS:GO.
Okay.
Those are your top 8. Top 10 are rounded out by Minecraft and Dota.
Well, I guess we'll see if it has a staying power. I guess I'll need to look into it a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've seen other games come and hit this spot and hold on to a moniker for a little bit. I mean, Call of Duty came up there and played with it for a while.
What other ones have done that too?
I mean, PUBG was up there for a bit. Talk about the big fall off games. Like, where are the big ones that like were there but aren't?
Like, PUBG got it started, then other people
refined it. See, PUBG still got staying power though. Like, because PUBG's still up there in that top 30 conversation, where you're seeing like the other games. Think about the one where you ran around as the chicken. Like, it came up there, it fucked around for a little bit, but it kind of died out and it's gone. You don't
Realm
see
Royale,
nothing. Realm Royale, you don't see nothing from that anymore.
I've bought a few of them. I can't even remember what some of them are fucking called, man.
Yeah, dude, it's all the dead games. Like, they're dead games. I'm not even seeing like,
dude, the fucking the subtitles just made me say, yeah, bro. I didn't say, yeah, bro. I never said, yeah, bro.
What? You aren't a bro?
It did. It was like, yeah, bro. It's like, I
Yeah,
never said that, bro.
I'm not your friend, guy.
Now it's just saying, yeah, bro, all over the place.
I'm not your guy, buddy.
Sorry, subtitles are entertaining when they're automated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, so I guess what ties into this whole Valorant discussion, and on top of that, some of the...
Well, it's still closed beta. That's what the important topic of it is we said Valorant. We should correctly address it under its current name, which is Valorant Closed Beta. That's what's available to anybody right now. You can watch it through a streamer that was part of the alpha program. They couldn't stream any of the game, they just played it.
Yeah.
But if they played it, they get to stream it along with all the other streamers that get beta keys. But they get to add drops to their chat because they were part of the beta. Part of the alpha. And there's been some false claiming around participation. And everybody trying to get people to come into their channel said, drops available. Drops here. Tune in. Drops are on. All day drops. These are the various stream titles you're getting, but everybody's talking about, and drops essentially meant that at random, a viewer in your channel would be selected and issued a beta key.
Okay.
So if you participated in the alpha, when the beta was going live and everybody was going to be allowed to start streaming it, you could capitalize on your viewing audience because you participated in the alpha. And people could tune into your channel because there was a chance that they could get selected to also be in that beta with you, is the way the marketing worked. Some people said that they participated and didn't, apparently. Most notably,
oh, it's up on the screen.
the two-time, it said drops here. Like, he was like, all day drops or something like that was his stream title. And if you scroll down on that a little bit, you'll see the actual stream title imagery. Him on the screen at the time of his stream title being drops all day or something like that. There's also, as you scroll down, there was the tweet that called him out by Mr.
People
Travis
in my
Gaffer.
Twitch chat are saying he's banning people, telling him to stop in his chat and using sub mode.
Because there was no way that you were going to be selected in that channel for a beta key drop. It wasn't going to happen. He wasn't in the alpha. His channel had no ties to the alpha. And he's the big guy of the group. You know, he wasn't the only one, and there was a pool of people who did it, and all of them were doing the same thing.
Well, and he responded just by like being like, "Hey, fuck you, dude, for telling on me."
Well, he's Dr. Disrespect. He basically did exactly what his persona is and was like, "Fuck you, ratting little bitch. You don't faze me," and moved on with the rest of his day. Like, this didn't affect the two-time. This doesn't bother the bulletproof mullet driving the Lambo. This doesn't faze this dude. He doesn't give a fuck about that part.
Did you have you seen in your Facebook feed his Rocket commercial? For Rocket. Yeah, it's whatever it is. Rocket is German shit. I don't know how to fucking pronounce it. But he's no longer wearing his Turtle Beaches.
Oh, it's Turtle Bitches? Yeah. I'm glad he finally got away from Turtle Beach.
Yeah, they suck, dude. There's some they were the shit when Xbox 360 first came out and everybody wanted them. I got a pair and they broke.
So bad for so long. They've been so bad for so long. That's another company. Oh man, don't even get me started on them. Like I had a moment in time where I would have swore by them, but
Yeah, me too. Well, the same happened for me with Razer.
See, for me, I'm still down. I'm still down with my Razer. I mean, I don't deny the equal opportunity of there being other people out there that are producing really good stuff that is also really good, but I still like my Razer products. Like I would like maybe if I switched it would be to like Logitech stuff maybe. There's a couple Logitech things out there that I wouldn't mind, and I've also seen a couple of the Corsair things that I wouldn't necessarily mind.
Corsair has a mouse that I really, really like the feel of, but it's ugly.
Yeah, see that, and there's a little bit of a problem with that where we teeter on this virtual side of life where people see us, and there is a moment if we get into something where you a dual camera guy, well I see one, the stream sees another. There's also the potential where if you and I are in a video call, you take that other camera and maybe give yourself an overhead down looking at your mouse and keyboard. And so stuff has to have a certain amount of presentation too, which other people don't understand that unless they are part of the anatomy that is why stuff also needs to look good as well as be functional.
Yeah, I mean, I still got my Razer Naga Trinity over here on the streaming PC, and I also have my Razer, what is it, like Black Widow Chroma keyboard on the streaming PC. I'm just using my SteelSeries keyboard to game with and my SteelSeries mouse.
That's Logitech SteelSeries? Right?
No, SteelSeries is its own company.
SteelSeries its own brand, yeah.
But
there was a mouse company that was doing like this full air.
Yeah, supposedly it's like a big. Well, it's super light, and super light's big for Twitch shooters.
It's super light and honeycombed. Like
it's
got pass through airflow, like so your hand doesn't get hot on it. And I don't have sweaty hands. Like my hands don't sweat, but they get really really hot, and they always do. Like in the winter, my girlfriends have always liked me in the wintertime. They're like, just come put your hands on me. I radiate heat.
Yeah, me too, man. Now,
like I've always been fortunate enough that I just radiate a shit ton of heat, and that was even when I was beanpole skinny, like 120 pounds, still radiated heat like I was a fucking fire poker.
I had one of those Xbox 360 controllers that had the fans built into it, man.
I had to have one of those.
Super fucking nice.
Yep, right there on the fucking fingertips and shit.
Yep. So no, I get that. My hands don't get like sweaty either, but they fucking go numb. Both of them anymore, man. I'm gonna have like dual set of carpal tunnel.
I don't have that, but I feel that this poor mouse, man. I put a mouse through a lot because they're not supposed to get that hot, and I know I know the little bit of heat that it may have versus the triple amount that I'm probably putting back into it. The poor mouse don't stand a chance. Electronics aren't meant to be sitting in heat like that. I don't care what electronic it is. You know, it's just not meant to be heated. And my hands are not helping it in any way, shape, or form. So I saw those airflow, and they looked like they had a pretty decent design on them, but they also looked a little stealth. So that meant they were going to have like sharp edges on them, basically. Like it was going to be very defined cornering. And I didn't know if I was going to like that part of it.
Yeah,
and so I kind of avoided that.
I'm trying to remember what the fuck they're fucking called.
Yeah, I can't remember who was putting them out. But I know Summit had them up for a little bit, and he was looking at them as a potential sponsor.
Oh, Cooler Master makes one now. There's Final Mouse. I think that might be the one.
They come in orange and yellow and black.
Everybody's making one now. Jesus, man, I'm looking. Everybody's got one.
Well, it's good. I mean, You and I having the conversation about how our hands are. I mean, it sounds logical that everybody should have been making these a long time ago, but I'm sure the mechanics inside of a mouse have changed a lot.
Yeah, it's called it's Final Mouse. They're $450.
Ooh,
those are the ones that the big dogs use.
My God. So wait, is that who Summit was using for a while then?
I think so. Let me pull it up over on the Stream PC real quick. All right, here we go. Pulled it up.
Yep, Final Mouse.
Yeah, that's their webpage.
I just Summit 1G mouse, and the first thing that came up was Summit reviews new Final Mouse.
Yeah, so that was that was weak. We'll just go to Amazon, and these are all knockoffs. There's one. There's the X Ninja Air 58 Cherry Blossom Red. Weighs only 58 ounces. It's 425 fucking bucks. What the fuck does it do? And this is terrible. This overpriced trash?
That honeycomb effect, though, that's what I was talking about. That ability to like have that kind of airflow. If I could get that kind of airflow and my 12 keys on my thumb.
So I'm reading this review. Is it overpriced? Yes. If you didn't get one at launch, I would recommend waiting for the glorious Odin. Otherwise, if you can't find the mouse for under $120, it's probably worth assuming it retains its value and you keep the box. Lots of shade being thrown at him. Yeah, $250. Wow, people complain about $250, and these ones are $425. Ugh. Trash. Worst mouse ever. Disfigured DPI. Non-adjustable pull rate is only 500 when AVG mouse has 1,000. This is a basic $25 mouse from Best Buy with some holes in it. Oh, Dave.
Oh, shit.
Throwing shade. Some people...
Disappointed. Yay.
Some people are saying, best mouse hands down, super light, but they originally launched for a hell of a lot cheaper than what they're selling for right now. Yeah, the glorious Model O is this. It's just another perforated mouse. Whatever, everybody's getting into that trend.
Well, it's good. The electronics need to breathe, and so does my hand. Especially, and they're catering to the fact that constant attachment. If it sits in your hand and it stays there, a gamer and a streamer, that shit's in their hand all day. Like, your person that's working in an office, they may click around on the screen for a little bit, but they stay on their keyboard probably more often. Click through this page, stay on the keyboard. Mainly use a keyboard. In most cubicle jobs, I'd say mouse is limited, keyboard is more frequent. So high-end keyboards for the office would be something that they would look at. Then on the other end of it, you've got a mouse that has to sit here in this gamer's hand and be trackable and stay in his hand for 8 hours, 10 hours of practice or gameplay or stream, or where that mouse never leaves. Half the functionality of what this guy is doing is with that mouse. Right hand has the mouse in it, or left hand, according to which hand he is. And the other one has WASD.
Yeah,
or Jinkle.
Sounds pretty fucking gimmicky, man. Just gonna say it. And see, the SteelSeries mouse I have has adjustable weights. I mean, yeah, it's not the lightest gaming mouse ever, but I actually like my mouse to have a little bit of
slides across the table. I don't need to pick my mouse up very often.
Oh no, I pick mine up a lot. but that's one of the reasons why I went with this SteelSeries one is the adjustable weight. But I still like it to have a little bit of weight to it.
Yeah, but it's got raised detection. And if you adjust that finitely enough, it's not, you don't even pick up your mouse. You can you can lift it like a car, kind of raise
Oh
one
yeah,
corner
yeah,
of it.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't have to like do big pickups to it or anything like that, but I rest my wrist on my desk, so when I'm turning, I'm quick picking up and kind of scrolling. I don't do big sweeping motions or anything like that.
The only time I do that is when flying a ship with keyboard and mouse in No Man's Sky.
Yeah, but yeah, my mouse is light enough to do what I want it to do.
You don't do that because you go VR when you're in your ship.
Yeah, dude, if we're flying around, dude, I'm fucking VR. Give me my virtual butt plugs, as has been called by the internet, for controllers.
The high tech dildo. I think it was.
Yeah, high tech dildo. You know,
high tech dildo, or
but that's what it's like in your hand.
Really snazzy butt plug.
So, but that's what I use, because it's, you grip here to grab the virtual flight stick that's in the cockpit, and you just rotate wrist. That's it. It's like using a HOTAS.
Too fucking easy.
And then you take your left hand one, you grab the grip, and you move the throttle forward or back.
Schneider Buffalo.
Huh?
When did you say Schneider Buffalo?
Oh, I did not say Schneider Buffalo, but good job, man. Whoever's doing these fucking closed captionings, it's terrible. When did you say nicer buffalo? Sneezer buffalo. Oh man. Anybody else? Just turn on. You want entertainment? Don't even pay attention to the show. Just turn on the closed captioning on the stream and watch what it says.
Sneezer buffalo. But good job.
Oh jeez. That's terrible. That is just terrible.
Sneezer buffalo. Oh man, anybody else? That's why, I should have never turned this on. So
it's entertaining for us. We're gonna sit here and talk to each other just so we can see what the closed captioning comes up with.
One guy talk for a minute and see what happens.
This is just terrible buffalo. Oh man, anybody else? Why does buffalo keep getting thrown in there? And it capitalizes it. Like, we're talking about buffalo.
We're gonna wait for it to catch up.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm sitting here waiting. I mean, how does it keep saying that? I'm not going to say any word that is anywhere close. I'll say Mark Ruffalo. But I am not saying that word. And I want to see how it keeps popping up. Here we go. Oh, it got him right. Of course it would. Whatever, man. That was weird how many times it threw that in there.
I like the fact that it.
I wonder if it's getting it from like a butt, you know.
Who do you think Facebook uses for their auto prediction text?
That's a good question.
Because I'd guarantee it's built into their software. Just like if you go to type on Facebook, predictive text would do.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. But when I said butt, it made it a butt like your butt and then punctuated it properly.
I saw that too.
Yeah, it's like butt, comma, but with two T's. I mean, like, you know, the TTs is good, but... Oh, shit. We should take fucking 5, man. Fuck me.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we're at that point. We talked about Valorant. It's
we talked about Valorant. We talked about the fact that Doc did his little thing with it, but he docked it though.
Yeah,
like, that was the
yeah.
thing. Like okay, so Doc did this, and then you're like, well, how did people deal with that? Well, Doc handled it.
Yeah, pretty much. So
like Doc was like, shut the fuck up, dude. Everybody was like, yeah. And they went on about their business like nothing ever fucking happened. So it was just it made its rounds. Everybody got it in their news cycle that this guy called Doc out, and Doc's response. That was the news. Is the fact that this dude said something, and Doc was like, "Oh yeah, buddy, you feel good about yourself?" And everybody was like, "Yeah, do you?" And moved on.
Well, since we kind of got into gaming mice and stuff, we kind of dove into that. Let's take this 5, and when we come back, let's talk about some of the upcoming controllers for pretty much every platform.
More peripherals. We got to. I mean, we did talk a lot about how peripherals on the PC are very effective to what we do on this end, and aesthetics and everything else. What that means in the world. So yeah, it highlights these. We don't forget about you guys. We have compassion for your console people too. We'll let you. We're gonna highlight you next.
Yeah.
After the break.
Are you on radio at all?
No, haven't been.
Well, here, I'll give you the music anyways. There's some music for you. All right, y'all. We'll be back in like 5. This is the Angry Dandelion Show. Yo.
And we're back.
Yeah, we is.
I was almost gonna lead in with the album, A Box of Beer. I was about to intro back from break with chapter 3 of Box of Beer.
Oh yeah, track 3.
Yep, almost.
Yeah.
Yep, it was.
I mean, you could have just went a cappella during the break for everyone if you wanted. I mean, you could have just put the whole album out there live for the world to hear.
It had the makings of like a R. Kelly in the Closet video. Like it was.
Oh, I don't know if you want to put that out there for the internet, man.
Chapter 3 was going to get a little freaky though, and we know how that went for Mr. Kelly.
Yeah, I'm just going to recommend you just cancel the album.
Yep.
I mean,
there will be no accompanying sex tape.
Well, God is good.
What? Where the hell did this conversation go? I mean, Box of Beer and R. Kelly made sense. You bringing Jesus into it.
Fresh out the egg.
Yo, how hilarious was that G.I. Joe exotic?
Yeah.
I saw it, I was like, oh man, that guy. I like that guy. Whoever that guy is, the guy that made that, like, that guy's got talent. Like, because he whipped together this whole fucking packaging with a little Joe Exotic inside its G.I. Joe Exotic packaging. Whipped that shit together and put it out there for the internet to get their hands on. And it's like, congratulations, sir. Today you won the internet. Like, because that's good. I mean, that's good, and so is Batman and confetti.
Yeah, can't show the world Batman and confetti.
No.
But
no, cannot show Batman.
Can confetti. Show the world G.I. Joe Exotic.
Hell yeah. This dude right here. This guy's got talent.
Yeah, it's a nice drawing.
It's just appropriately absurd enough.
Yeah. I want to see his rendition of that bitch Carol Baskins.
Right? Because there is of that bitch Carol Baskins.
Yeah, or the tiger that ate her husband. One or the other.
Oh. No, nobody's seen that tiger. No, that tiger ate, and then she shot it and buried the tiger.
Yeah.
I like it. That question mark, Carol Baskins. Yeah, because nobody knows who she is. Carol Baskets.
Yeah, Carol Baskets.
And the tiger that ate her husband.
Yeah, Baskets. That was an alright TV show at first.
I have a question though. G.I. Joe Exotic distinctively has in this kit a shotgun.
Yes.
And I think that is an inaccurate portrayal of Joe Exotic.
Okay. I never really watched the full series. I only got into like one episode and I was like, no, fuck this.
Remember, he's a big cat guy.
Yeah.
So you of course got the
High power
handgun that
rifle.
stays on his. You got the handgun that stays on his side, but then you got to have the tranquilizer rifle, not the pump shotty.
Okay.
You know, because it's standard animal like trainer motif. Outside of the fact that it was built with this mullet as the infrastructure. Or this lavishly.
Yeah, but dude, he's got a little bag of cocaine.
Actually,
is that meth?
That is meth.
Okay, I don't know the difference. Or
one of the opening memes coming out of Tiger King was meth and tigers will make you not straight.
Right. That's what it is. That's how.
Because both of his husbands, the ones that married him at the same time, he was a polygamous gay man. Got married to two fellas at the same time. Both of those men said they were straight. Said they had girlfriends the entire time they was with Joe.
Cool.
It's like, well, that doesn't necessarily make you straight because
you handled the D.
I was going to say, you took care of Joe. Didn't matter how many meth pickup trucks he got you.
Yep. You handled the D. Which leads me to believe
my only
that those men were either gay or not straight.
The only complaint I'd have about the entire setup, though, is the fact that shouldn't be a pump shotgun. That should be a tranquilizer gun.
Well, whoever this is, we'll have to track them down.
And mention that one key detail, because everything else is fucking dynamite, dude. This guy did a terrific job on every bit of it, from the little Joe Exotic that's inside the plastic to the cover art that's on the panel.
The little Joe Exotic almost has like a like artist style, or almost kind of looks like Brendan Small's like Death Clock.
Yep, to a certain degree, and they were very accurate with the detailing of the G.I. Joe parts.
Yep.
Great work. Oh yeah, that's definitely an action figure.
Yeah.
Like you look at it in the box and you're like, oh, he didn't animate
Joe
Exotic. He drew a Joe Exotic action figure. It's definitely the action figure. You could see the opposable parts in it and where, like, the only thing you can't wait. Can you see wrist rotation? It looks like maybe on that left wrist you can kind of see rotation, the rotation cup,
or maybe that's just his action grip.
Yeah, well, you know, meth trucks. It's a damn shame, though, they set him up in the weird way that they did in order to lock him up, man. Poor Joe. I haven't watched the new episodic release that came out yesterday, I think it was, or today on Netflix. I haven't watched that episode of this crazy fucking Tiger King reality series that's been put out there. It's insanity. It's so out there that there's almost, you just almost want to say it's not real. And then there are moments where you go, well, this is some Florida man type shit. And then they go, yeah, but he's from Oklahoma. Close enough. Because if this is what comes out of Oklahoma, you might want to just move the state, or at least your residence, to a place that doesn't get cold. Don't go to Texas, though. They don't like you there.
Yeah, don't go to Texas.
They are not Joe Exotic fans.
Well, neither is Carol Baskin. That bitch.
Neither is Carol Baskin. That bitch.
Let's see. Where do
All
we
right.
go
So
from here?
what kind of gaming peripherals?
Let's
do
start
the
with
console.
things
do the console people get their hands on?
Well, let's start with the PC version. Let's go right to this.
Stadia.
No, the Steam controller.
Oh, because Stadia supposedly got a revision that's coming out for them, and so Steam's released their full.
They haven't released. They patented a design with swappable controls, so they're working on revising the Steam controller because I don't know if you've ever seen one or used one, but no, it's got motherfucking trackpad.
Yeah, 2 trackpad, right?
One kind of operates like a D-pad, the other one's like a trackpad. I refuse to buy one. But yeah, so they're looking at upgrading their controller offerings, which is really fucking weird at this point. I mean, they have their VR system. What do you need a Steam controller for? I mean, if you're a solid PC only gamer, you go out and you buy an Xbox controller or a PS4 controller.
Well, remember, at this point, I'm gonna try and validate this partially because of the intermingling. There's no more Steam Box, right?
I don't think that's a thing anymore. I think that fell flat on its fucking face.
But we've seen enough integration from Microsoft that it wouldn't be untold to see maybe a catalog and third-party option controller that would be a Steam option of a controller that they could potentially be in both markets, where this is them still trying to find a little niche to keep themselves carved out in. I mean, Steam is Valve. Valve is a company. For you to talk about them making a fucking controller is retarded anyway. What does Valve do? Valve makes fucking games. Oh, wait, no, Valve doesn't do that. Valve runs Steam. Now, they don't make any games. They just house all the games on your fucking computer.
And they make VR headsets.
And then they make VR headsets, and then they make controllers, and then they're kind of dabbling in the console market, but that kind of fell out of favor. Now they've got a console under their belt, who also found a warehouse to store all their video games. So the little intermingling crossovers that may happen is the reason why Steam just keeps their tether out there all the time, kind of going, hey, let's throw this sticky hand over here and see if it grabs anything while we're out there. And I think that's what a Steam controller is, essentially, is them just going, we're Valve. What? We do every fucking thing. What? If you want to be loyal to Steam as an identity of Valve, Steam, all the way through, here you go. Here's your option. If you're that loyal to the company.
So just kind of a breakdown of exactly what this is, I guess. We'll just use this quote here. Described herein, among other things, handheld controllers configured to detachably couple to different controls, as well as methods for use and or assembling the handheld controllers. The handheld controllers described herein thus allow for the dynamic swapping of controls for changing the configuration of the controller to meet the needs of different applications, users, and the like. So you're gonna get a modular controller.
Well, I mean, it's becoming a very popular thing right now at this moment.
But I mean, the way that's worded to me, it sounds like you're not just like swapping out thumbsticks. Like you're taking one half of the controller off and adding another half of the controller back to it, type of thing, or adding a different set of button layout.
Remember, this could also integrate with Microsoft's multi-adapt controller that they have out there on the market. This could be a base unit of program and you just attach other stuff to it. Like Windows has a modular unit that they use, and you can attach shit like foot pedals to it to act as the A button. So the modular controller is a more accessible controller to a wider dynamic of people that you and I necessarily wouldn't upfront think about. When we think about that, we think about the traditions
Yeah,
of
right.
mouse, keyboard, controller. We don't think on that outside of it, but this is maybe something that would think of that outside moment. And I could see where it would cater to the abilities of being part of that outside market.
I see what you're saying. But still think it's an interesting concept on its own that Valve's diving into it. If they make it to where it's like you literally can take the controller and you don't like these grips, so you change out these grips for those grips type of situation. Like, I wonder if it'll be like that.
You essentially talking about buying internals that just recognize what gets attached to them as the facade.
Yeah, you'd have like a central like section that has the
brain and the battery. Yeah, the brain and the battery,
and then everything else is just attachable, and it knows what you attach to it.
Yeah, you could possibly even out of this, like I know it's not configured visually there on the screen with the main picture that they're showing there.
Yeah, no.
As anything other than
the original,
maybe a variety of an Xbox controller. But
that's the original Steam controller.
Right. If we're talking a purely modular controller, we're talking about the ability to just slap the buttons down in one of the several designated attachment button areas, because I'm sure they're not fully modular.
Yeah.
In their capabilities, where I would say Microsoft's probably a little bit more heads up on that, and they decided to not make a controller, but to make a brain. They were like, see, we're going to call this a brain. You can attach whatever you want to this. And if you need big red fucking pounders and green pounders that fucking beat on for your fucking shit, then all right, fine, you can attach those. They hook up right here. We got buttons that are fucking 6 inches wide if you need those. We've got fucking sticks if you need shit to fucking grab hold of. Like, they made a brain and attachments to the brain, where this looks like it's kind of
that
it's an intermediate that direction.
Okay,
maybe the filler in between.
I haven't seen this controller setup you're talking about from Microsoft.
Oh, Microsoft's what the hell? It was their hand, like, physical handicap.
Yeah. For people with disabilities, I didn't realize that it worked like that though.
Yeah, you can plug just about anything into it. Like it.
That's cool.
You can turn anything you need into a button. So if you've got like a pedal and you can tap, and you think you can tap your fucking foot pretty fucking accurately, then you can use that as like your trigger button.
Hell yeah.
In a video game.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, but that's the essentials of how that works. It's a brain that attaches out to items that fit the everything from cerebral palsy to polio, I guess. I mean,
okay.
Or MS.
Right. Gotcha. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm also picking up something.
Yeah, man. JMO. Oh, that's the crazy JMO. That's the castmate JMO.
Mm-hmm. I'm switching.
All right, so which one did you get? Which castmate is that?
IPA.
All right, so that's the IPA, the castmate IPA. And what are your opinions on it? I mean, I'm sure it's got a lot of bitter to it, right?
Yeah. Twos said that it's really smooth compared to regular JMO for him. But JMO's super smooth anyways.
What does he normally drink? Like, what's his normal beer?
Bush.
Okay, what's his normal liquor?
Whenever I have some and I offer him some, whatever I'm drinking.
So he's not normally a liquor drinker. He'll just normally drink like Bush beer. He doesn't.
Bush
he's not like a JD
like,
guy or a Jim Beam guy.
Nah, not a liquor guy.
Okay. Huh. Man, that's a weird niche of a liquor for him to just dive in and be like, oh, that tastes pretty good. You might want to watch that bottle. Or you might want to watch your brother start bringing that bottle into the house.
Nah, it won't go down like that. It's only when I offer. But, and plus, on a good night, I'll polish off half of it myself, so. Which is what I did last Thursday.
Last Thursday was one of those days, man.
Yeah, it was half that bottle, 2 PBR coffees, 3 Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPAs, and 2 regular PBRs. I was thirsty.
Wait.
I was thirsty. It was Thirsty Thursday.
Thirsty Thursday.
But I digress. So, Valve's got this portable thing coming out. I see where your point is on that. I like it. Now,
well, you were asking where it fits into the market, and like that's the only spot. Like
that makes sense.
To honestly put them somewhere, and especially when you look at Valve and Steam as a company.
Yep.
Like you look at the transcendence.
Well, if it makes PC gaming accessible to disabled people, then yeah, go do it.
Yeah. If that was the intention behind this, especially like I said, we got a lot of suspicion that they're really deeply in bed with Microsoft right now.
Get money.
Like there is a lot of reason to think right now that these two companies may in the next couple of years not be individual companies. Like it just keeps getting closer and closer. I've been watching it for so long, and when I saw the first little tease, I was like, oh, let me find out these two people are about to start.
Gears Tactics game's supposed to be coming out like today or tomorrow or something.
Yeah. Let me see. These two people are about to start fucking, and then here you go. It's 2 years later. Damn sure looks like somebody's wiping something off their dress. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. Gears Tactics which is coming.
Well, and the full Halo Master Chief Collection went there. And it's not.
But it on release. It's coming to Xbox, Windows 10, Xbox, and Steam.
Yeah, like they just keep getting closer and closer together. Like they've been sitting on opposite ends of the park bench for so long, and they just keep looking at each other. They'd smile a little bit, scoot a little bit closer, and right about now they've just started to kind of touch pinkies.
April 28th is when it drops.
They just keep reaching over and touching pinkies, like, oh, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to touch you. I'm sorry. And they're like, oh, it's okay. Like they're at that moment right now. You're kind of starting to see a little bit of the romance go on between these two companies. They're really happy with where both of them are at because Epic didn't really disrupt a lot of what Steam had going on, and that was a concern for a little bit. People were wondering, is the Epic Game Store going to come in and do that? But no, because EA released their game store, and another company released their game store, another company released their game. And then it was like, oh, well, all of y'all are just saturating the market with a bunch of bullshit. Ain't nobody paying attention to y'all. Your real money's still going to be on Steam. Like, more developers are going to drop games there. And more indie developers are going to drop games there. Microsoft in the recent history, after a lot of criticism about being not so friendly to indie developers, has tried to remake that image a little bit and brought more indie games to their console.
Yeah. Well, Gears Tactics just lost me, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
No co-op.
Well,
I get it. It's tactical shooter, but
you wanted Army of Two?
yeah. Well, it wouldn't really be Army of Two. I mean, it'd be like XCOM, but in the Gears universe.
Yeah, but if
to
it's
where your
XCOM,
buddy would have their character that they move around the board, and you sit and you talk and you move around the board and you kill shit, and that's the way it goes. So the fact that that's missing is it's a little disappointing for him, because I was kind of excited for that XCOM experience in the Gears universe.
how
But
many
I
people?
liked it.
How many people have you co-opted XCOM with?
Oh, just like 2. But when I did, it was fun. And it was actually on console when I did it.
Interesting.
And hell, even there were even times where we would just pass the controller. Like, I would make a character, a dude would make a character, and when it was my character's turn to move,
you made co-op.
Yeah, we couch co-opted it by just passing the controller. And
well, yeah.
So what's wrong? Why can't we have that experience online? I don't get it.
Okay, well, maybe there needs to be a guy like you lobbying for this to be a section of gaming that
I
needs
am
to
right
be
now.
part of it. Yeah,
I am right now.
Maybe that's the niche.
You listen
that
here,
you need to get into.
motherfuckers.
You need to be a lobbyist.
Yeah, you listen here. I'm going to tell you this one time. I'll forget about it in 10 minutes. I don't need to be a lobbyist.
All right. It has been saved for internet posterity.
Something. Words and things, yeah. I know all the words. I know all the best words.
But yeah, so that's our PC realm of things, and that got off into a little bit of a tangent about the intermingling of the Xbox thing. So let's go ahead and jump over and talk about that new Microsoft controller.
Okay.
This is a Series X overhaul.
Yeah, they didn't do too much with it.
We've already had an Elite, and the Elite 2 has been released now.
Yep.
And this is a not much of a, but slightly modified Elite 2 controller that's going to release with it. Kind of a dumbed down version of the Elite 2 controller, because it gives you kind of Elite 1 function, but not Elite 1 durability issues.
Yep, so the big changes, it's got a share button now. The D-pad is getting a performance boost, whatever the fuck that means.
Its press.
Yeah, so deeper dish
was off. Well, its press was deeper off. It was off.
Yeah, the adjustments. Deeper dish gives your thumb a nice little home to sit in, Whitaker says. That's what Whitaker says. You know Whitaker?
Whitaker's actually kind of got his thing.
He also said that the angles are finally tuned to give you a good amount of leverage with minimal movement.
And that is always a valuable thing. Actually, anybody who's used to that PC gaming community and likes having that registerable DPI on their mouse, that likes that adjustability according to what game you're playing, and that profile swap, like that's what that's about. It's about minimal movement with maximum return.
Yeah. So, D-pad redesign. Game changer, blah, blah, blah. Size and textures is the next thing. Tactical dot pattern on triggers and bumpers, which provides grip to improve feel and performance during gameplay. The textures have been used on special edition controllers in the past, and it's now become the new standard.
Size change is never bad as long as it's bigger, correct? And texture, if you're getting texture changes, you might want to go see a different doctor.
True. True.
Yeah, because if texture changes, you probably got an infection. You might want to go get that checked out.
By accommodating hands similar to those of an average 8-year-old, we found we could improve accessibility and comfort for hundreds of millions more people without negatively affecting the experience of those with larger hands. So,
and this is why I'm not a PC. This is why I am a PC gamer and not a console gamer, because I just ain't got no familiarity with 8-year-old hands.
that's such a weird statistic.
Point. Such a weird point.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously did their market research. And I'll be honest with you, back in the day, I had one of those little baby Xbox controllers, and I like to use that controller in certain situations.
Instead of the Frisbee?
You mean the Duke, the big ass old motherfucker?
Yeah, the Duke, the UFO, man. The fucking, the lawn.
No, I had the S version.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't like that big motherfucker.
Man, I love the UFO. The UFO was great. But I've also got ridiculously big hands, so
I've obviously got the hands of an 8-year-old.
You're so concerned about it.
Oh, it's like It's Always Sunny, man. Charlie's uncle, he's like, what should I do with my hands? And he's like, can we not shoot my hands?
Yeah, can we not?
But yeah, so that's interesting. So it's going to be a little bit smaller.
Thought about all the Whopper commercials too.
But
with the little hands guy.
I like Xbox controllers. Always have since first put an Xbox Type S in my hand. To be completely honest with you, that's actually kind of one of the reasons why I stayed Xbox for so long.
I like offset joysticks. I will say that. I like the D-pad low and offset joysticks. It feels better because traditionally what you're looking for is comfortable rest and both fingers moving and sitting in tight next to each other. You slip, fingers start touching each other, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Every time a joystick, my fucking fingers are slapping each other.
Yeah, no, the offset joysticks is where it's at, man. The Xbox controller is by far my favorite. So, one of the reasons why I've stuck with Xbox
controller, PC controller.
No, I have so many Xbox controllers sitting around, dude.
Well,
whoa.
I'm literally right now I have a Razer Wildcat because, like I said, I'm kind of a fan. I stay there and I like it. I'm not unhappy there. For me, they work. I haven't had that customer experience. I understand the ability to find other products, but customer experience wise, I've always been taken care of. So, my Wildcat, and then my Xbox One controller. They essentially look the same, except for I didn't have to pay elite controller prices to get the extra button configuration. And built-in headset mute button, like all of this, like the shit that really fucking mattered when you were looking at like plugging your controller up and talking to people.
Yeah,
like the ability for them not to hear you, the ability to turn them up or down, like all of that stuff is important, and it was all built into the Wildcat, and that's the reason why I got the Wildcat, because it was the predecessor to the Elite 1 coming out. And now that they've dropped the Elite 2, my next PC controller is probably going to be like an Elite 2 or, maybe even an Elite 3, according to if they do another revision in the next year. Because right now I don't need a new controller.
Well, I was getting ready to say, man, at this point, what do you really... I mean, even for me, like the games I'm going to play where I'm flying, I'm like... It's like No Man's Sky, so I've got my VR for that. So
no, I have certain games that I just essentially playing them. They feel more intuitively playable on a controller.
I guess like Dark Souls and stuff like that. You want a controller for,
dude. You are the prime fucking advocate right now that says keyboard and mouse works for doing this in the game that I'm currently playing. VR works for doing this other shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah,
I'm kind of hitting that
like,
realization as I'm talking.
Yeah, there are options, and it's depending on what you're playing and what styling of game that is. We're not good, dude. What did we figure out? Mount Your Friends is better. What way?
Yeah.
On controller.
Yeah.
Mouse and keyboard is weird. Trackpad even weirder. So you want those options, like in versatility according to what game you're playing. Some games are going to be more controller friendly. Some games are going to be more keyboard mouse friendly.
My point is why, you've got your racing wheel set up. I hope to have one myself soon. As far as a HOTAS is concerned, the games I'm going to play where I'm flying shit is going to be in VR.
Yeah.
So,
you're not a Microsoft flight simulator guy. So
now maybe if I were to dive into not No Man's Sky, but Star Citizen, because I own a $120 ship. If I was to dive into that, maybe I'd want a HOTAS there. But I kind
of still doubt that if they gave you a VR option to go in there. And
I'd be in VR.
I'd rather be there.
Yeah, I'd absolutely be in VR.
Like that is your pleasure point. Now, remember though, what you're talking about with being in VR. There are guys that want a HOTAS in VR.
Yeah, well, the way No Man's Sky set up, you wouldn't.
They want that feeling, like say you were flying helicopters.
Yeah,
you want that realism of that if you want to really go into the full simulation.
I guess my point is though, man, is that at the level of gamer that you are with all of your different controller options, you don't have a HOTAS. That's the only thing you don't have controller wise.
Yeah, because I'm not
so I don't think you ever need to upgrade your controller. You don't need the extra paddles. The extra paddles are great for racers and shooters. Well, you're on a PC. If you're in a shooter, you got keyboard and mouse. You're in a racer, you got a fucking wheel and pedals and a shifter. So why bother even buying another fucking controller, man?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, because
unless you're buying the Series X.
I wore the thumbstick down on the left side.
Oh, okay.
Because what happens with all controllers for me is forward running in every single fucking game that you ever play. Forward running is a thing.
Yeah.
I do that.
Damn, dude.
I do that to controllers.
Damn.
That's dude.
Damn.
It's even though, dude. It's not like I cut anything away. It's just gone.
Yeah, but dude,
I Thanos that shit.
Yeah, I've never had a controller do that, man. Never.
Dude, this thumb is probably bigger because of that thumbstick. I've absorbed it. I don't know. But the thing is if you look, my Xbox controller kinda is doing it.
Yeah.
But it's not near as bad. And that's the difference between that's the difference between that and what I've been using. Like this is a Xbox One controller that is relatively new in the lifespan of things, where my Wildcat has got a little bit of time on it. Like it's got some age. I think it might have been the first controller that I bought when I moved in down here.
Okay.
Like I had the Sabertooth. I had the Sabertooth when I was living at the old house, and when I moved into this house, I got the Wildcat. And that's only because the Sabertooth, the prongs, it had the threaded, like 3-point XLR connector, but it was a micro XLR. And you had to tighten it on with a ring and I bent two of the prongs, and once I straightened them out, they also just didn't fucking work, and the controller basically was a wash at that point. So I moved on to something different, and that's where I checked to see what Razer's new controller was, and it was the Wildcat. So that's what I bought.
Well, shit.
What's next? We've covered Microsoft.
Yeah. Let's get Sony out of the way, and then I want to get back to No Man's Sky. I go back to work tomorrow. I want to dive back into that. So let's cover Sony. Fuck, man, it's 10 goddamn 02. Yeah, goddamn 02. How does that get translated?
Good damn 02.
Is it?
It's question marks. Guaranteed.
Fucking bullshit.
Guaranteed question.
Yep. Marks. Oh, there we go. I got goddamn in there. It's 10 goddamn 02. You put it in there. Hell yeah. Good job, Facebook translator guy, person, whatever. AI.
You just won the internet this evening.
Yeah, I feel better about life right now.
All right, so
PS5.
Sony's also got a controller coming out, and not for anything, maybe the most technologically different controller.
Mm-hmm. It's wild, man. Not only is it two-tone, and I actually like the two-tone look, but
for a PlayStation controller, it also looks like it might have a little bit more girth to it.
Yeah,
which is going to make it a little bit more holdable for those 8-year-old to 40-year-old hands. Looks like it'll be a little bit more holdable.
Built-in microphone, though, man.
Well, yeah.
I want. So does it have a built-in compressor?
Oh, you're not going to get that.
Well, you would think. Okay, so think about your knowledge of microphones, my knowledge of microphones at this point. While it decent, but we're like still not experts. When the microphone when the microphone moves away
above the normal,
it gets quieter. When the microphone moves closer, it gets louder. So a compressor adjusts for those changes and normalizes the volume close or far away. Well, yeah, it's on your microphone is on a fucking controller.
Right.
So I'm laying in bed, putting my controller all the way down here, trying to talk to my buddies, and they're like, dude, I can't fucking hear you.
And be like, oh, let me pull that up to my nip.
Yeah, so then you're like, hey, what's going on, guys? I'm here. I'm ready. There's a guy out to the left. So if there's not some kind of technology built into their chat system or something to deal with that, I feel like a microphone and controller is a shitty move. That's what I'm interested to see.
Because it's going to go clack, 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 clack.
Yeah,
clack, clack,
I'm really in. And they had to think of these things, though. You know what I mean? Like, they had to think of these things. Wait, they're a hell of a lot fucking smarter and making a hell of a lot more money than us.
Really? Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they gave a shit about those points.
Yeah, well, let's hope that they did. But
because imagine how like we did this with the consoles. If you put a condenser microphone into a controller, where do you think that hits the price point on what that controller is going to come out at? It's a controller already, which is $60. It's a controller. Yeah. $60. And it's a PlayStation touchpad controller, so those are what, 75? 70?
Fucking 75? Yeah, beats me, man.
All right, so now you put a microphone in it. Just a microphone. Right now we don't even want to upscale it to keep it at price, maybe?
I just want to know how it works. So bad.
Right, well,
it's got to be shit, dude. It's got to be shit.
These are the questions that we've got to ask when we go to move forward with it. I mean, not for anything. Essentially, we nailed it with the PlayStation and the Series X when we talked about what they had versus what real world costs that reflected to. We weren't far off.
Yeah, no.
And so
I do like USB-C integration.
Apply that same logic to what we're looking at. Yes, condenser microphone makes the most sense. And
yeah, because it's got the widest angle to pick up.
It would efficiently maybe be able to noise cancel the sounds within the controller.
That's what I'm saying. There has to be some software engineering going on there. There's got to be some digital audio processing that's going to take place within the chat program or within the chat software. There has to be something there.
Well, you're hoping. But you can still go and buy a PlayStation or Microsoft Xbox chat pad connector headset.
So what do you think about the form factor of that? To be completely honest with you, it looks uncomfortable to me.
Not for anything, it's an Xbox controller with the buttons in the wrong spot.
Yeah, essentially, but
dude,
it looks
not essentially. It's an Xbox controller with the buttons in the wrong spot. Look at the amount of real estate.
It's a little bit more
there.
squared off, though. It looks a little bit more squared to me.
Okay, so they didn't take an indention here at the top.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about its profile. Overall, looks a little bit more square than an Xbox controller. It just does to me. But
for me, it still looks like essentially it's an Xbox controller that has a touchpad up where the Xbox button.
Holy shit!
What?
Somehow I hit something that turned you way the fuck up, and I don't know what it was, but you got real loud.
All right. For me, essentially, it's an Xbox controller where right now your center button is the touchpad, or start and back buttons are touchpads, and they threw those down in between two joysticks that are like it's an Xbox controller to me with like the buttons in the wrong spot. Like when I look at it from its side profile.
I don't know what happened.
What, could you not get me turned down?
No, I don't know what I hit. I hit. I really don't know what I hit. The controller's not even plugged in. That's fucking wild, man.
Okay.
And the slider's not working at all anymore. It's like it changed audio sources. Whatever, just keep fucking talking. Let's fucking wrap this bitch up. Put a bow on it.
But yeah, so essentially for me though, like I said, the more I look at it, even when I look at like the side profile action, like right there on that level, it's an Xbox controller. It is literally the physical dimensions of an Xbox controller with the buttons in the wrong spots. I don't know what these two top little diode buttons they have up there, little pressers at the top of the screen are, but that's even more out of whack if that's a thing. You okay over there, bud?
I don't know what I hit, dude. You're a little doubled up too. That's what I'm not understanding. Like, I don't know what I hit. It's almost like it turned monitoring on for you, and I'm not seeing anything in sound settings or anything. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's gone fucking nuts on me. That's for fucking sure. Anyways,
all right. Well, on that one, we'll start to pull out of this entire conversation, and we'll just kind of like move on into the rest of the evening and what that's going to be. I want to highlight everybody our public service announcement for the evening. Of course, COVID says stay inside, but go to Noteworthy Nonsense, not me or my kids.
Give me a goddamn second.
I mean, I'll stop talking.
I just want to figure out what the fuck it is.
No, No sorting.
Hey, I'll pull that shit up there. I don't know. I really don't know what I did.
Poor guy.
I don't understand. Yeah, whatever, man. Just talk about shit.
Well, I'm saying you pull up that article for you. I want you to be able to see that because not me or my kids. This is not a favorable future.
So that's the dummy they got out of gaming. People have flat heads and no shoulders.
Flat heads, no shoulders. They're a little pear shaped.
Yeah, what the fuck ever.
Incredibly large Adam's apple. Look, the brain has obviously gotten bigger though. So gamers are the prototype for the Greys, which means aliens will exist, but all they are is time travelers. Because the evolution of this guy is going to survive. Like you and I may evolve into this guy in several generations down the line. Okay. And then that guy, you see his eyes are a little bit bigger, cranial region's gotten a little bit larger, shoulders fell off, arms maybe got longer.
Yeah.
This evolutionary transition that they have going on here only highlights the fact that the Greys are us, but only a future evolution. Time travelers are real. That's why there's that hipster in that black and white photo from sometime in the 60s.
Sure.
And there's that old lady walking down the street on her cell phone in 1920s New York. Even though there were no cell towers. So. Explain that one, but problem?
I figured it out.
What'd you do?
So somehow the audio from the streaming PC was coming back through this headset when it was unmuted.
Okay.
So it probably wasn't heard at all on the stream. It was probably all me.
I love it. I love it because I was gonna say nothing changed on this end. I started looking over things too when you said that. I was like, I don't even think I touched it.
Yeah, dude. Somehow that audio unmuted and was coming back through.
Are you still using
USB.
Synergy? Are you still using
yeah,
Synergy?
that's kind of what I'm thinking. Is it has something to do with fucking Synergy?
Yeah, you probably touched your mouse just in the right spot that it was like, what? Did you want me to touch this other computer?
Fuck that.
No, I didn't want you to touch the other computer. What the hell's wrong with you?
All right, I feel a lot better about fucking life. I've closed down like all the chat monitoring, all this fucking stream monitoring. I was like, I got to figure out what the fuck this is. And I was like, okay, this is the only thing I can think of is that the mouse was somehow on the other computer. And when I touched the button, and sure enough, whatever, fuck this.
Bye, Facebook. Bye, YouTube.
Yeah, we getting out of here.
It's been fun. We've enjoyed hanging out with y'all tonight. It's been a blast.
Yeah, there we go. I'll kick back over to the big screen for a second there. I want to hit this whiskey one time before we sign off. So, everybody, if you're out there, you got about 5 seconds to pour yourself a shot. 5, 4, 3, 2.
You got as much time as y'all need out there in the internet world to take your shot.
Yeah, you really do. Just pause it.
Yeah, I don't feel no pressure.
Yep. All right. So until next week, y'all. Thanks for watching. It's been the Angry Dandelion.